this over like this.
Sit this wherever. Decided that, Jaylin. Why are you? Luckily, I'm an editor, so everything that's not correlating.
You my everything, you all I ever wanted. We could do it real big, bigger than you ever done it. You be up on everything, other hoes ain't never flown it. I want this forever, I swear I could spend whatever on it. Cause she hold me down.
Hi guys, it's me back on my channel. It's jaylin.b. Don't forget the underscore, don't forget the TV, or you will not find me. Today I'm with my close friend Zoe, also named last name Montgomery. This is something we've been planning for. This is something we've been planning for a while, really. You know, we're around each other every day, and one day she was like, "Podcast, you have the microphone for it," and I'm just like, I do, and everybody has a podcast, but let's start a podcast because I feel like everybody needs the younger perspective. Podcasts are generally targeted towards older people, and I feel like it would be nice to get like a teen, well, we're not really teens anymore, but like we're in our 20s, so we're early 20s, so it would be nice to get a perspective like that on a lot of things. So this will be up on my channel. I am gonna shoot for 2 episodes a week or 1. I haven't decided. We haven't decided, but I will have my co-host with me every time, hopefully. And sometimes we'll even have guests. So be prepared for that. Hi, my name is Jaylin.
Hi, I'm Zoe.
And this is Non-Judgmental Judgements. And on today's episode, we're going to talk about not only the hardships in relationships, we're going to talk about mental health, and we're going to talk about juggling school, work, and a relationship as a college kid. Because I feel like nobody thinks of that, and we have our wine, of course. So how are you tonight?
I'm good. I'm so good. I mean, it's been a long day, but we're here and we're making it.
We are. So, starting with number 1. I was going to say this for number 2, but starting with number 1. This is our first segment, by the way.
You're cute, Dior.
And if you're confused, she's also going live on her phone.
Yes, I'm live and we're doing this. We're doing a podcast.
First segment. We will have 3 segments every episode, so be prepared for that. And we're just going to kind of like break them down, and then that will be the video. And our videos aren't scripted. It's going to be very natural, very honest, very honest. So
when you see me on IG Live,
the first topic that we're going to talk about is how do you love someone who doesn't love you anymore?
how do you love? That's a really good question.
That is.
How do you love someone that doesn't love you anymore? When you like truly love somebody, I'm with him now. When you truly love somebody, you can't unlove them. You can't control what other people do. You can only control how you feel and what you do. So if I love you and I'm in love with you and you're over me, I'm going to just be loving you. But I won't be able to stop if I genuinely am in love with you. You see what I'm saying?
I understand that. I get that.
It's easy to love somebody if they don't love you, because if you're in love, you just in love. Can't nobody stop you.
How do you stop loving someone who's not loving you anymore? That was the question.
Oh, well,
that was the question.
I'm still trying to figure that out. So I don't know if I can really answer, because I'm still trying to figure.
I understand what you're saying. Nobody can really stop loving you or do what you want to do, but that wasn't my question. My question was, how do you, as a person, stop loving someone who doesn't love you anymore? You're seeing this. Let's say you're in this relationship. No matter it ended good or bad, but it ended. Well, however it ended, it ended. And now you've noticed this person is dating. It seems like they might have took the time to heal. But I'm not going to say you're not healed, but you're on hope for them. You want them to come back. You're stuck on them. When they text, it brightens your day. Like, how do you stop loving someone who loves you? Because what if there is no
shooting
future?
Shots. No,
what if there's no future for this person? How are you going to stop yourself from loving this person is my question. How do you love somebody who doesn't love you anymore?
For me, hey y'all, we're doing a podcast for all y'all coming in.
Subscribe to my channel, jaylin.b_TV. Anyway.
Type shit. Wes, I love to see it, Wes. That's all I'm gonna say. But for me, I have to be extra hard on myself. Like, I have to talk shit to myself. I have to be stern on myself and just be like, that nigga don't give a fuck about you. That nigga got kids. Everything bad about that person, I have to remind myself. Because for me, if I'm in love, nothing's taking me out of love but me and Jesus himself. So the Lord already gave me my signs. I clearly, didn't pay attention to them. So now for me to just get over somebody is literally, I have to be like, Zoe, they don't give a fuck about you. And sometimes even when I say that, I just be like, but they do though. Yeah. No, it doesn't work because I'm very delusional. Like, if I don't have nothing going, text me. But if I'm down bad about you, like, it's me and you to the end. Like, you'll always find me somewhere close because I'm your lover. So
I feel like for me, it's a little difficult because
it is.
If I'm only wanting that person, how am I to really stop loving you?
Exactly.
And seeing you love someone else is gonna break me. Especially if I know the difference between like, oh, this is not gonna last, but I also know the difference. I know how you looked at me. So if I ever see you look at that like somebody else, I'm gonna know this is no play.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I don't know how I would go about that or handle that. This is a very hard topic.
It is, but me personally, I would just go about it as whoever you thought you were in love with, they're dead now. So you have no one else to love now but the one and only me. Because if I'm in love with you, you can't love nobody else. I'm sorry. And I'm not that delusional to the point where it's just like, oh, if I can't have you, no one else can.
I am.
But if I'm in love, you obviously did something.
Right.
You obviously led me on, in some type of way. So that means now you have to die because you led me on, and whoever you thought you loved also has to die since you faked your love towards me and gave them the real thing.
No, I completely understand that. I like your points. To add up on to my question, basically they're dead. Basically, this episode is about love. If you haven't counted the gist, this is season 1, episode 1 of non-judgmental judgments, and it's about love. So, do you think that somebody can love somebody else? And what I mean by that is,
like, love two people at the same time?
Not necessarily two, but find a love outside of the love that you thought was your love, essentially.
Oh, yeah. Because I feel like everybody has different definitions of love. And as you go through life, the most intense love you feel, that's what you go by as your main love or your first love or something like that. Why the fuck? I wish you could see his face, bro. Why the fuck are you looking like this?
I think you're just a little bit tipsy.
I am tipsy. I'm hot too. Are you not hot? Or is it just me?
It's definitely getting a little hot in here, guys.
It's hot as fuck. Like, I'm hot as fuck.
It's definitely getting a little hot.
But, yeah, so for me, the love I had in 10th grade, now I would never say that was my love. You see what I'm saying? Mm. So, shit. As we're going up, none of us really know what love really is. All we know is what people have told us love is, and what we read in the Bible what love is. God is love. Well, none of us are God, so none of us know really what that true love really consists of, but Him, because He's the only one to give that true, genuine love. And my relationship not close enough, so I can't say Well, I'm sure he gives it all to us in general, but I can't tell a person like I know specifically what it is. Cause the love I'm in now, if I describe it to somebody, they could be like, "Girl, that is not love. That's toxic," and I'm gonna be like, "Baby, I'm in love." You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
It's perspective.
yeah,
Perceptive.
it's very like love is all about perception and who teaches it to you and what y'all go through together to, see what it is. What you think?
I think love. I'm a firm believer. Although I know this could be opinionated, like she said, everybody has their own definitions. But for me, my definition of love is what love does. I'm a strong believer in that. Anybody who loves you, as crazy as it sounds, they will almost do anything for you.
Mm-hmm.
They will. They will almost, and I'm a firm believer in that. And I
do
think
anything
that's
for
what
mine.
makes me delusional, because I would do anything for mine.
Yeah, most definitely.
Like, I was sneaking through windows. My
nigga say jump over a car, roll over, like dig through the mud. I got you, babe.
Like,
Whatever
I feel like
you
love is
need.
what love does. And I'm not saying the first time somebody tell you no, they don't love you, but I feel like it depends on what I'm asking you to do.
Yeah.
Like, if my car wreck and I have no way to get nowhere, and I know you're at work, but I need you to come get me, you would tell them I'll be back, or I just have to leave to come get.
Yeah,
to
most
come get
definitely.
me. I'm sorry.
Most definitely. If I'm fucking with a nigga and I ask, "Can you rub my feet?" and they say no, they don't love you. I'm sorry, they don't fucking love me because my feet hurt, daddy, and I need what's it called? So
I know you guys on Yubo can't see, but we are on a podcast.
We are.
I do have my equipment out with microphones and stuff, but
feet is kind of crazy. Like,
so you wouldn't rub my feet if you was my nigga?
I mean, rubbing feet is just,
You're so funny. So rubbing the feet for you is just a stretch.
then you don't love me.
I wouldn't say it's strange, but like that's some good wife type shit. Like you rub your wife feet, like
I
It
feel like it's
is.
not, though.
I mean, in a way it is, but if you love somebody, there shouldn't be like any question about if you would rub your girl feet or not. Because when you want some head, you're gonna expect her to get on them knees, right?
Even though she's not your wife.
but
So,
that's too different.
no.
What's the
That's
difference?
actually worse.
We talking about feet, and then we talking about head.
That's actually worse.
There's
This ain't head, shoulder, knees, and toes. You know what I mean?
no, it is. It is head, shoulder, knees, and toes. Plus that dick, plus that pussy. It's all that.
No children under 10.
It's the except black women feet. My feet are pretty. So Dior, like we was doing so good. Don't do that, Dior. Not to me.
And about that, now that he brings it up, I would like to ask you the whole you would have to be my wife thing. How do you feel about that? Because I have a lot of girl cousins who have boyfriends from time to time, and I hear a lot like, "Oh, I'm not gonna do this because I feel like that's wife material." But it seems like to me, listening in on these conversations, everything seems like wife material. So what is the girlfriend aspect of things?
Everything is wife material. That's why back in the day they got married so young and expected the wives to do everything. Now that women have got independence and niggas have, got to the fact where they're like, "Oh, I want my woman who got her own this, that, and the third." Now a lot of the things that were husband and wife material aren't anymore because women push so hard for men to want them, and then they do that extra stuff for them. So it's really, to me, it ain't no different between no husband and wife.
Girlfriend and wife.
Of course your feet cute, duh. If you want to suck my toes, just say that. But yeah, so for me personally, I know like when I get into a relationship, for example, my last relationship, I used to cook all the time. You come home from work, I got food for you. Like I know that's wife type shit, but that's what I was doing because if we're dating, we're working towards marriage. So I'm gonna do a few things that are wife material. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you have to wait until we're a wife. I'm not gonna do it all the time, 25/8, while I'm not a wife. But I'm gonna do it here and there because that's what we're working towards.
How do you feel about? Well, I know her in real life, so I know how she feel about it. But how do you feel about cheating? Because I always ask people, what's the one thing? Oh, it's cheating, it's cheating. It can't be, because most of y'all still stand. Because I'm confused.
Cheating.
Do you think once a cheater, always a cheater? Do you believe that term? Or are you like, that's middle school shit, people can change?
People can change, that's only if they want to. For me personally, I've cheated before. So, but I also know why I cheated. And I know I'm just not going in everything cheating.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's not once a cheater, always a cheater. But if you're put into the same position, I have to learn that I need to say something before.
Excuse the washer. I think that's the washer. That's the washer.
Hell yeah.
Excuse the washer. Sorry, but continue.
But yes, I just have to learn. I have to say something instead of acting on it because I play my get back 25/8. So if I see you moving funny, I'm gonna move funny, even funnier, like quite hilarious. So it's just cheating is really a maturity thing. That's what I feel
I agree, because in my first relationship, I cheated and I was 16. See, that's the age difference.
Mm-hmm.
And in my second relationship, I was 19. That's a pretty good little gap. Finna enter my 20s. And I didn't cheat in my second relationship. So I was just wondering what you thought about that, because I feel like it's more complex than... I feel like the cheater has to take responsibility, but also I feel like, not to sound like a nigga, but I feel like certain people, and I said certain people, internet, I feel like certain people are pushed to cheat. And by that, I'm not saying push to cheat, but when you're not doing what you're supposed to do in a relationship, of course I'm going to find it somewhere else. If you're not touching me, if you're not loving me, if you're not giving me attention, if you're like, you need to be on your A game, because when I'm in a relationship, I'm on my A game.
Yeah. And I agree, because that's what it was for me. Like, I wasn't being touched. I wasn't, getting attention I feel like I wanted. So even though I didn't go sleep with nobody else type of thing, I definitely was texting somebody else, letting them give me the attention I felt like I wasn't getting. But I agree. I definitely agree. I don't agree once a cheater, always a cheater, because I cheated before, but if you're my nigga, like, and I love you and we're in love and nothing's going wrong, I'm sorry I'm not cheating on you.
I understand that. I feel like
why would I do that?
My second relationship, I called my first love.
Mm-hmm.
I thought my first relationship was my first love after the heartbreak and the drama and the crying. But when I just compared the heartbreaks and the history, I can confidently say my second relationship was definitely my first love.
Yeah. And
I feel as though, here's another topic I was going into, which leads me to this next question. Is basically what I'm trying to say. Do you feel like non-Christian relationships will work, given that we know everybody else is not Christian, but I'm just talking to her because given that we are Christian. What I mean by that is, do you think somebody who's not Christian, do you think that relationship is possible? Because I don't. I'm sorry. I've been in one. That was my first one.
I'm so weak. I feel about time, Dior. I feel as though you must want to answer a question.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
You wanted to answer a question?
I bet.
I'm asking you, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
What was the question again?
What was I saying? Oh, the most recent question was, do you feel like non-Christian relationships, like people who don't base their relationship around God, do you think they're going to survive?
A Christian and a non-Christian.
Oh, okay. So if you're a Christian and you get with somebody who's not a Christian, do you think y'all will survive?
Nah, I don't think so.
I agree.
I agree.
My first relationship was like that, and I was the Christian, and it was just so not good. Looked over to me and asked me, "Would you choose God or me?"
It's the would you choose God or me? Like, bitch, you must not know God.
He was like, "Jaylin, that's all you talk about, and God this and God that." And he was like, "I just know that you would choose God over me." And I said, "Yeah, I hope you would choose him over me too."
But that is like a good question.
Cause I'm not going to church and you in bed. I'm sorry, that disgusts me.
Yeah, most definitely. And everybody knows, like, if you pursue something that's not meant for you, like, God is gonna show you that it's not meant for you and it's not gonna work out. But for
I just don't see it. It's too unequally yoked.
yeah, like, because I've gotten to the point where I feel like I'm maturing to the point where if somebody is interested in me, I ask them, like, what is your relationship with God? Like, are you trying to get closer to God? I'm trying to go to church with my nigga. Like, what are you trying to do? Type of thing.
And I feel like that relationship is important because.
So that was funny.
I feel like having relationships like that is important because if you are a Christian, then you know that there are up and down hills, down hills. Sometimes you don't want to go to church. Sometimes you get a little weary. You get a little off path. And I feel like if you're not in a Christian relationship, they're gonna let you. Whereas somebody else is like, we are going to church today.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's why I would prefer today Christian.
Yeah, like, I know the next person that I fuck with, like, I just know it's gonna be like God will be involved in that relationship. We will pray together. We will read the Bible together, worship together, and all of that. Like, I want to go to church and go get food after and make Sunday a date. Like, I want to do that. I would love that. Yeah, I would love that.
Do you think, another question, do you think that love is lost for, I'm not going to say just our generation, but I can only compare this generation to the last one, so I'm going to say our generation.
Our being like 22 through 20?
I would say 18 to 24.
I don't think it's all lost. I just think I don't think it's all lost. It's definitely harder and more different, but I don't think it's all lost because I know people like you and I, like more on the hopeless romantic side. So I know everybody wants love. It's just how are they brought up and how are they exposed to love? Because everybody, like, some people think love is molestation. Like, some people think love is yelling at your partner and hitting on them. So it's just different. It's just.
Do you think because I like to think this, I think that the era also has an influence on relationships these days and why they're not last. Yeah. I understand. You're going to get with somebody, you're probably not last. I'm not saying it's unnormal for our generation. I just think the pace that is happening is a little unnormal, if that makes sense. And I feel like the era that we're in plays a big role. Like, I feel like social media plays a big role.
Yeah.
I feel like phones play a big role. I feel like back then, relationships weren't perfect. You know, we know plenty of family members. I'm not saying this is perfect, but I feel like it was more real because you had to build experience to even get to that point. Right. You had to go out together. There was nothing distracting you. There was nothing. There were conversations being had at the dinner table. There wasn't nobody taking a picture of deviled eggs and ribs and posting it on social media. Like, why are you posting your food? Just eat. Like, you know, like there was living in the moments, if that makes sense.
No, I definitely agree.
And I feel like that's kind of how I still am because even when we go out to dinner or we go out with friends from school, notice how I'm very talkative. I'm not really on my phone because I just feel like I don't need this 24/7. This is not my lifeline. I would like to enjoy the experience.
I definitely understand.
I don't want to be in a room full of people and it's quiet. That's weird to me, especially in a public setting. What are we doing? Why did we come here?
No, that is.
I feel like our era has an influence on the way we love as Generation Z.
No, we definitely
Because
do.
we see a fine person on the app, we swipe, we meet up with them, they're cute, we barely talk to this person, they take you somewhere that's kind of nice, and you don't talk then.
It's the
You kind of talk,
nice.
but you don't talk. You talk about the matching zodiac signs, and oh, I'm not gonna date a Gemini, and oh my God, you're a Libra. I match with Libras.
Yeah.
And then you rush into some shit, and then you're like, who the fuck are you? But you would have known who they were had you did it experience wise versus this way wise.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I just, when I meet somebody, like, I do definitely want that conversation. Like,
I love the conversation.
I do too. Baby, I'm feeling my drink. I'm sorry. I need a nigga to call. Dior, come see me. But
Saying that on YouTube is crazy. Dior, we're literally, like, if she turned the camera, you will see my microphone, the camera, everything. We're literally filming a podcast.
For real?
yeah,
Let me see that shit. Let me see.
I'm gonna flip it for you.
It's not the best. It's nothing fancy. I'm just starting off. To be clear, I'm just starting off.
Damn, I gotta take my phone off the thing. Ooh, don't fall. The camera might. Yeah, some slight. But I mean, I feel like people don't truly want to be loved because they don't truly want to expose themselves because that's scary.
I think that's true. Because when I've noticed about me dating, I'm very old fashioned. I believe in dates. I believe in promise rings. I believe in chivalry. I believe in all these old things, the communication, the let's talk, let's go for a long walk on the beach, let's get to really know each other if we're really gonna do this. And I feel like that inadvertently scares people away from me. It's too serious. I feel like it's too real for this generation. Because they just want the kids hook up and block me the next day. And I don't want that.
That shit is crazy.
So I feel like it's too real. I feel like I'm too real. Somebody has told me that I'm too real. Like it's a little intimidating.
Yeah, I hate when people are intimidated by other people. But no, I can definitely see that. People are just different, and it's just all about how they were raised and how they feel about themselves. Like, I don't know, all that fake shit weird.
Speaking of, since you keep bringing up how people were raised, we're gonna stray away from the relationship love. We're gonna go now to we're gonna stray to the parent love. Parents fuck these children up.
Parents fuck everyone up. This world is fucked up because of parents. Like, parents ruin the world. They think it's bad people.
It is a statistical fact that everything starts at home. And that excuses nobody's actions, but just like the murderers and stuff, you watch these documentaries on them, and it's not to make you feel sorry for them, it's to show you that everything starts at home.
Yeah.
You are the way you are, down to the mannerisms, how you act, what you think love is, how you say it, because it starts at home. Everything literally starts at home. And that's unfortunate. That's sad that some people didn't get love, and then they feel like they have to molest people to feel like people love them, or some people didn't learn how to express themselves right, so they were killing animals, and now they're killing people.
Yeah.
So now it's just like, it's unfortunate it started at home.
No, it definitely
some people are traumatized. Even this show that we've been watching, Desperate Housewives, even the character Zach, I feel like that's a great example. He was loved, but we also should realize that sometimes trauma is not an excuse, but it makes you think differently.
Yeah.
His mother shot herself in the head. Spoiler alert. I'm going to put a spoiler alert if you haven't seen the show. Yeah. But in the very beginning, she commits suicide and shoots herself in the head, and he basically has a downhill journey from there.
He does, and he turns insane.
He turns literally insane.
It's just, I mean, I understand parents have a hard job, but if you're not ready for the test, don't have a fucking kid.
And I agree.
It's as simple as that.
It's 2024. You don't have to have a kid. Controversial topic, but I'm sorry.
Like, I know the Lord says to build your hierarchy, to build your family. But if the Lord knew you was building a family just to tear that bitch down, he would have told you not to do it in the first place.
Amen.
It's just no way you're having a kid to rape them, or having a kid just for the fun of it, just for the hype of it. Like, that's just weird. That's weird as fuck. Cause I'm not having a kid unless I can get a kid the whole world and then some. No,
I feel you.
That's weird.
I've always said I wouldn't have a kid until one, I'm financially stable, and two, until I go to therapy. There's a lot I have to deal with, and I think that's smart of me to acknowledge that. Because if I had a kid right now, they would grow up fucked up, worse than I feel like I am.
Baby, if I had a kid right now, it would be dead. It would be in a sperm bag. It would be in a condom, in the toilet, in anything that's not Zoe.
So you want to get on camera?
Dior, move the camera over a little bit.
You so well.
What's your real name?
Thomas.
Thomas?
Yeah.
I like that about you.
What you like about me?
This man. I like your name so far. If you move the camera, I can tell you what else I like. Let me stop making this blur on my phone. But it's just, people with these kids and people with these, I'm sorry. They make Plan B's. They make
Plan B's,
too many types of condoms.
Adoption center condoms that people just don't use.
It's like they invented condoms for nothing.
I'm saying
That's
people,
weird.
but it's highly the men too. They just
Careless.
This boy once told me that, she said I'm coming, but I did it anyway. Huh? Like, what?
Oh my god.
And girls think that shit cute. I can never be a female because I'm slapping the fuck out of you. You really have me fucked up. I'm not ruining my life or yours, deadbeat. What can you do at 17 for a child? Oh, nothing? Exactly.
No, I just hate that. I hate a person with a kid who's obviously struggling. You're not meant to have a kid if you're struggling.
No offense. I know I can't speak for everybody. I grew up with just enough, but I'm not delusional enough to where I knew I didn't grow up very fortunate. My mama did the best she can, and she ate that shit up. But me growing up the way I grew up, there's nothing in my mind that would tell me to have a fucking kid right now. And I guess I just think that people who struggle, I think that they should think the same. Yeah, baby, you slept on the floor, and then you eventually got a bed. What the fuck are you having a kid for? Like that, so your mama could only scrape up spaghetti and y'all ate there for a week and you were thinking, let me get pregnant.
My heat.
Like, I don't know. I was just trying to see where the mindset is at. I'm sorry.
I feel like some females feel like they're not important without a kid. And then there's other females who have babies because they want their nigga
so you shoot laser beams.
I'm so weak. They want their nigga to love them, so they
should know by their parents, mamas, or somebody's example. I'm not saying everybody's mama I could see. I'm just saying there's always somebody in the family, a friend, or somebody that's an example. You've seen them before. You should obviously know that a nigga's not gonna make them stay, or single mamas will exist. Or single fathers in some cases, because I have a friend, she was raised by her dad, and she ain't got no mama. Her mama left.
Yeah, I mean, there's some. It's probably like this world is probably full of 3% of good men, but the rest are gone to shit. Like, I feel like men don't care enough, if that makes sense.
Anymore? No. They only care about the new. The new. Or whichever way you swing.
Did you just say you don't care?
I said I do care.
But or whatever way you swing, you only care about sex in general. I'll say that. If you like unicorns, boys, girls, naked squirrels, you only care about seeing whatever you like undressed. So it's just like, and it's unfortunate because I told Raven, who's my best friend, y'all seen Raven on my channel. I told her, she knows my experience with my relationships, the girls and the boys that I've talked to, and it's like, damn, I can catch a break. Like, what the fuck is going on? And she looked at me and she was like, friend, you do know that good boys finish last. And I'm like, huh? And she's like, good boys finish last. They don't want you. I said, why not? I'm in college. I'm trying to build a future for myself. I open doors. I surprise my girls that are friends with breakfast. Imagine what I'll do for you. And she's like, they don't. I love you to death, but good boys finish last. They don't want that. And I'm like, huh? She said, yeah, you probably are going to have a future for yourself, but they're still going to choose the one that's working at Pizza Hut, that's like 40 and don't contribute shit to their house, eats up all their food, and just good for having sex. And I said, well, that sounds like a sad ass life to me. But so
they're just not mature though, and their mind is on like the wrong thing. Like everybody is searching, for that true love, but women feel like they find it in them bad boys because it's exciting. So they get that exciting feeling mixed up with that, oh, I really like them feeling. Excitement is just excitement.
A thrill.
Yeah.
A thrill.
They have that thrill feeling and they take that thrill feeling and mistake it for something that's more.
I agree.
But that's why the quote unquote good boys finish last, because they don't, like you said, the whole chivalry thing, this and the third, they're like, oh, he's just so sweet. But that thrill of like the fights, the toxicity, are we still going to be talking tomorrow? Is something about the anticipation of that just keeps a girl like driven. Like, I'm not going to say a girl always wants to work for something, but I don't know why she feel like she always got to chase for something.
And it's not just with me. There's a person, I'm going to go by a code name because I'm not going to expose anybody on my channel. I don't believe in that. We're going to call this person Jim. Yes, Jim.
I'm in the gym tonight.
I thought I liked Jim, did the chivalry, did all of this, and Jim just decides that Jim wants to be friends, and I'm just so confused because Jim said that they like me too.
Yeah.
And I found out later, a few months later, I'm like, because me and Jim are still good friends. And I'm just like, oh, Jim, what's going on with your latest relationship? He's dating this boy named Steve that's not really out. And the boy went to his job and jumped over the counter fighting him and cut him. And he told his mama that he secretly liked boys and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, oh, shit, this sounds like a lot. So somehow we get on the topic of what we used to kind of have. Because, I date girls and I date boys.
Yeah.
So... And he's like, to be honest, Jaylin, Jim's just like, to be honest, Jaylin, I just got bored. And I said, oh. So that's brings me to say, what you're saying makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah.
I come off as boring. I'm not finna argue with you. I like to communicate. I'm too old for that. I'm sorry. I'm not finna beat you up, girl or boy. I don't believe in putting my hands on people.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yes, and something about that quote unquote boring, because it's not really boring, it's just healthy. I mean, if we're being honest, it's a healthy relationship. The shit is not boring. So something within, it's boring to them because they're not used to the healthy. They're used to the jumping up and the thrill and the fighting and the arguing. So when it comes to something that's healthy, it's just like, this weird, this is unsettling. Like, they're just not used to it and not ready for it. But as soon as they're ready for it, they're gonna realize like, oh, this is what Jaylin was doing. Like, this is what Jaylin was trying to give me. They're just not ready to see it. I don't know. Girls and boys are weird. Weird as fuck. Like, I don't know.
They do be weird sometimes. They do be weird.
Time.
How do you feel? I have another question to ask you, especially since you're a girl.
Okay.
I know different type of girls, and different type of girls have different standards. Because everybody's not the same. Even boys, whether you're straight, whatever, everybody has different standards. Everybody carry themselves a different way.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the whole, when a dude is talking to you, do you think his homeboys know?
That's such a great question because, I feel like a boy doesn't tell his homeboys he's like seriously talking to a girl until that boy feel like y'all serious. Like, let's say me and you just started texting today. I feel like you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I just started talking to this little shawty today, we texting or whatever. Nah. Until they hang out more than 5 times and until the boys start noticing something different within their friend, they're not gonna say nothing about talking to nobody.
Does that give the homeboy the right to shoot a shot then?
It does, because okay, like for your homeboy for example, since you didn't tell your homeboy that we was talking, I'm a bad bitch. Your homeboy gonna wanna talk to me when he see me.
Okay. But what if he then tells the boy, well, oh, like, no, I'm texting her.
What if, like
after he find out that he shot the shot, he's like, no, I'm texting. Like, I'm trying to, slow it up for surely, but,
That means that you may be fucking with me type shit. Like, if after the fact, if you see that your homeboy trying to talk to me and you're like, no, like, you can't talk to her, that means you slightly fucking with me and you don't want your nigga to have it. That's what that means. I think.
Is the homeboy obligated to listen? Do you feel? Because you said if it was just a first text thing.
If y'all true friends, then yes. But if y'all just in passing and you're just like, oh, okay, after 3 days you scope out the scenery, and ain't nothing changed, then it's all free game. It's up to the girl at that point.
How do you feel about begging women and begging men?
Begging women and men to do what?
No, them begging for sex.
Oh.
I feel like there comes to a point where sex is a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
We're not going to go too into it because I know you two will flag me, but I'm just basically asking when you feel like it's a little trial.
I personally hate that shit. When it comes to niggas and trying to fuck me, that's probably the worst situations I feel like I found myself in, because for me it's easier to let a girl into my legs than a boy. And for boys, some boys get too excited and you can tell they're only there for one thing. A girl is not gonna be blowed if she go home with a pussy wet. Like, for me, it happens every time because, girls gotta get dropped. But, girls aren't gonna be mad if they go home with their pussy. Niggas go home with blue balls, you'll never see them niggas again. They'll never want to talk to you again. They'll never want to fuck with you again. Like, the shit is just OV'd up. And I feel like that's weird. If we're sitting there watching a movie and you're, trying to cuddle me and do too much and trying to kiss on me, and I'm just like, back up, and you're still like, man, shawty, come here. That's just, what are you here for?
I feel that. I feel like I hate when people tell me one thing and do another.
Yeah.
Especially if this is newer. Yeah. I want to get to know each other. Movie or not, oh, let's talk about the movie. Let's talk about something.
Yes.
I don't know you. I don't know what diseases you have.
I'm so weak.
So, it's just and this brings me to our last topic. Everybody says they want to be close to God. Everybody says they want to love. Well, none of y'all are getting either of those two things if y'all don't get rid of lust. I'm going to be honest with everybody in the internet. This generation is very lustful. You're not going to find anything lust. Niggas don't want to fuck with girls without sex. Some girls don't want to fuck with niggas without sex.
Oh, I think it made me laugh just a little bit. Do you think it messed up?
Are we back? I'm sorry, I don't know if we're back.
Yeah, we are.
But people don't want to mess with each other unless it's sex. And that sounds shallow, but people can dress up the way they want to. That's the truth. Now, that's not for the 3% out there, but it's the truth for everybody else. And
do you like it?
I feel as though a lot of relationships aren't love, they're lust. I feel like if I see you 7 days out of the week and the only memories I really have is us having sex, that's lust.
It is.
If we can't do anything without having sex, I feel like that's lust.
I can't say too much because I'm.
And then it goes into me for Christian, that's premarital sex.
Yeah.
And this generation is bad with it. Y'all starting at 14. So I'm just like, what is happening?
I agree.
I'm not gonna force marriage upon anybody. That's neither here or there.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying. And if you're not gonna marry, still be conservative. You can't give your goods to everybody, y'all. Can't give your goods to everybody. No. Say the goods first. Be strict with the goods.
No, most definitely. But I definitely agree. I can't say too much because I'm just learning how to not be lustful. And I'm just learning that I need to dial back and focus on the more important things. But you're definitely right. Everything is so lustful, like in every way. That's all I can really say. But I'm working on it, and I can't wait till I can survive without sexual activities. Like
I feel like that's for me when a relationship is stronger. Because
yeah,
we're not bound by this sin. And I'm only saying sin if you're not married, but we're not bound by this sin.
yeah. So that is true. It's something I definitely need to continue to work on.
I feel like the more generations that go by, the more nothing is being resisted.
Most definitely.
Nobody's saying no to anything. Drugs, sex, anything.
No, they all want to fit in too much. And the people who fit in, the people who are the most popular, fit in, whatever you want to say, they're the yes people. And the people who say no and are true to themselves or their religion, those are the ones who are outcasted and look differently because they're not doing everything that the crowd is doing. But everybody knows once you're a child of God, you are isolated in a certain sense. So I mean, people they're not ready for the real, and they rather just be on top in this fake life rather than focus on what's important and be on top in afterlife.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed this podcast. It's a very interesting talk. I will say this before we get off. My channel is for everyone. Straight, I don't care what you like, I don't care what you do. I don't care even if you're non-Christian. Hey, I don't judge. I don't care. The only thing I want is peace and harmony. So don't argue with anybody in the comments. Don't argue with me because I'm not reading a book, a paragraph. You wasted your time. I'm so sorry. And I just wanted to be peaceful. And I'm just going to say everybody's welcome here. So this has been the first episode of season 1, episode 1, non-judgmental judgments about love. And we will see you guys later. Bye.
It was so good.
It definitely was.
A little something like